Hello. Organization change and development. Unit first, an overview and introductions to organizational change and development. Mm, Unit first one, an overview and introductions to organizational development and introductions to planned change. Unit 3, model change. Unit 4, process or organizational development. Unit 5, entering contracting and designing organization. Unit 6, designing and interventions. Unit 7, term and book interventions. Uh, uh, Unit 9, structural interventions. Unit 10, implementation and assessment of a OD. Unit 11, issues and ethics in a consultant uh, client relationship. Unit 12, for future trends in organizational development. Uh, Introductions in a, competitive area and to cope with the various factors in internal and external environment. The organizations should embrace change. The organizations have to proactively effect changes in their systems, because without change, the businesses will likely lose their competitive edge. It is all about assessing, analyzing, reviewing, and modifying the management structures and businesses processes in order to sustain and grow in the competition. The businesses need to adopt cost effective and efficient methods of doing the things, and there is no need, no resist the change. And because if the organization fails and to meet the demands of the market, surely and they will lose their customers. The change drives of any organization include and the technology change, competitive environment, changing consumer demands, economic conditions, and government policy, etc. The dynamism of the environment have changed and influenced the organizations and changed the pattern of working. In this, the rule of information technology and a communication system and cannot be ignored. The new businesses models, such as outsourcing and virtual collaborations, are the outcomes of these and helping organizations and to learn a lot in a very short span of time. The role of economic is very important in the situation of change, as it can impact organization in both positive and negative ways, and which can be uh, stressful, strong economic and clubbed with increasing demands for a product and services might involve the addition of staff and new facilities. Where are weak economic can create more problem, as the organizations have to make very difficult decisions with respect to employee and their salaries and jobs. There are a government regulation forcing organizations to adopt as per the changing preferences of a consumer. The change is important in an organization, as it is allowing the employees to learn new skills, competencies, explore new opportunities, and exercise their creatively. in very efficient and effective ways that ultimately benefit the organization and through new ideas and increased commitment. It is the duty of top most authorities of the organization and to prepare uh, employees to deal with the situation and make them ready for the future. Uh, uh, in this book, to understand properly and about the various issues and dimension of change and development is divided into two parts: organizational change and organization development. Organizational change is the first part in the book and which deals with the overview of a change and a planned change and the models of change and for better understanding of all the dimensions of a change. The second part of this covers the process of organization development and various interventions at different levels, at least the various issues at least levels, at last the various issues and ethics in a consultant client relationship and future trends have been discussed. The globalization has increased the market and opportunities for more growth and revenue, but at the same time poses various challenges for organization. Therefore, in a present scenario of change, it is very important for leaders and managers to manage change and while continuing to meet the needs of a stakeholder. Dr. Geeta Singh. Organizational Change and Development, HRM 301 syllabus. Uh, Unit first one, an overview and an introduction to organizational development. First one thing, introductions, unit 1.1 objectives, 1.2 define organization development, 1.3 nature and scope of organization development, 1.4 features of organization development, 1.5 characteristics of organization development, 1.6 objectives of organization development, 1.7 assumptions, value and belief in organization development, 1.7 one organization development, 1.8 system theory of organization development, 1.8 on nature of system, 1.8 to uh, confuse among and system elements, 1.9 socio technical system theory and open system planning. 1.10 implication of organization development value, 1.11 summary and 1.12 key terms, 1.13 exercise and questions, 1.14 further readings. Unit second thing is an introduction to planned change. 2.0 introductions, 2.1 unit objectives, 2.2 meaning of changes, and 2.3 simulating forces for changes. 2.3 and 1 external process, 2.3 and 2 external internal forces, and 2.4 change program, 2.4 in the individual level change, 0.4.2 and group level change, 2.43 organizational level change, and 2.5 managing plan changes, and 2.5 planning for changes, 2.5 2a assessing change forces, 2.53 implementing changes, and 2.6 summary, 2.7 key terms, and 2.8 exercise and question, 2.9 and further reading. Unit 3 models of change. 3.0 introduction. Introduction 3.1 unit objectives, 3.2 characteristics of effective and change program, 3.3 models of change, and 3.3 one system model of change, and 3.2 Levin's force field analysis model, continuous change and process model. Uh, 3.3.4 change and transition management model. 3.3.5 organizational growth model. 3.4 summary keyword, 3.5 exercise and question, 3.6 further reading. Unit 4 progress of organizational development, and 4.0 introductions, 4.1 unit objectives, the evaluation of organization and development. 4.3 why is the change unneeded in an organization. 4.4 meaning of change agents. 4.5 types of change agents, and 4.6 characteristics of successful change agents. 7 level of change leadership skills, and 4.8 advantages and disadvantages, internal and external change. Agents 4.9 steps in organization development progress processes. 4.10 process consultation. 4.11 the process of organization development. 4.12 summary, and 4.13 key terms. 4.14 exercise and questions. 4.15 further reading. Unit 5 entering, contracting, and diagnosing organization. 5.0 wait 1 minute. Unit 5, entering, contracting and diagnosing organization. 5.0 introductions. 5.1 unit objectives, and 5.2 central model of a planned change. Planned change. 5.3 entering, contracting, and diagnosis. 5.4 managing the process. 5.41 problem identification and diagnosis. 5.42 planning and strategy of a change. 543 intervening in the system. 544 evaluations and making modifications. 55 action research process and an approach. 5.6 history of an action research. 5.7 various varieties of an action research. 5.8 summary. 5.9 key terms and 5.10 exercise and a question. Unit 6, designing and interventions. 6.0 introduction. 6.1 unit objectives, organization development and intervention, need and nature. 6.3 characteristics of organization development, interventions. 6.4 classification of OD intervention. 6.41 structural intervention. 6.42 designing organizational structures. 6.5 principles of organization structure. 6.6 departmentation, mentalization. 6.7 uh, decentralized decentralization and centralization. 6.8 strategic interventions. 6.9 sensitivity training. 6.8 term building. 6.11 summary and 6.12 key term. 6.30 exercise and question. 6.14 further reading. Unit 7, term and a group intervention. 7.0 introduction. 7.1 unit objectives. 7.2 term building. 7.3 term interventions. 7.4 board term building interventions. 7.41 varieties of term building and interventions in a formal group. 7.4 uh, gestalt approach to term building. 7.6 intergroup interventions. 7.7 third party peacemaking intervention. 7.8 personal intervention. 7.9 interpersonal and group process interventions. 7.10 summary. 7.11 key terms and 7.12 exercise and questions. 7.13 further regard readings. 8 comprehensive intervention. 8.0 introduction. 8.1 unit objectives. 8.2 steps in organizational development intervention. 8.3 comprehensive OD intervention. 8.4 big hearts. Big hearts confirmation meetings. 8.5 strategic management activities. 8.6 grid organization development. 8.6 one process of grid organization development. 8.62 evaluation of a grid organization development. 8.7 trans organizational development. 8.8 summary. 8.9 key terms. 8.10 exercise and question. 8.11 further and reading. Unit 9 structural interventions. 9.0 introduction. 9.1 unit objectives. 9.2 selected structural intervention. 9.3 summary. 9.4 key terms. 9.5 exercise and questions. 9.6 further and reading. Unit 10 implementation. Implementation and assessment of OD. 10.0 introduction. Wait some time. Unit 10 implementation and assessment of OD. 10 introductions. Unit objectives, organization assessment, basic components of assessment of OD, and criteria for assessment, uh, measurement. 10.6 requisites to successes of OD. 10.7 failure in OD efforts. 10.8 assessment of OD and changes in organizational performance. 10.8 one goal setting. 10.8 two performance appraisal. 10.83 reward system, and 10.9 impact of OD. 10.10 key points for implementation of OD. 10.11 summary. 10.12 key terms, and 10.13 exercise and questions. 10.14 further readings. Unit 11 issues and ethics in a consultant client and relationship. 11.0 introductions. 11.1 unit objectives. 11.2 client system. 11.3 issues, and 11.3 one entry and a contracting. 11.4 trust issues. 11.5 nature for the consultant's expertise. 11.6 diagnosis and appropriate interventions. 11.61 depth of intervention. 11.7 consultant as a model. As a model. mm, as a model. 11.8 action research and the OD progress. 11.9 implications of OD for the client. 11.10 power and control issues in organization. 11.11 the concept of organization politics. 11.12 Implications of power and politics for the practices of OD and 11.30 ethics in OD, 11.14 summary and 11.15 key terms, 11.16 exercise and question, 11.17 further readings. Unit 10, Unit 12, future trends in OD. 12.1 introductions, 12.1 unit objectives, and 12.2 future trends, and 12.3 macro system trends, 12.4 interpersonal trends, uh, 12.5 individual trends, 12.6 the future of OD, 12.7 Imran's transformative changes for relevance of OD in a modern organization, 12.8 summary, 12.9 key terms, and 12.8 exercise and question, 12.11 further readings. Unit 1 an overview, introductions to organizational development. Structure, wait sometime. Unit 1 an overview, introductions to organizational development. First one, structures, introductions, unit objectives, defining organizational development and nature and scope of organization development. 1.4 features of organization development, characteristics of uh, organization's development, objectives of organization development, assumptions, value, and belief in organization development. Organization development, assumptions, values, and belief of a organization development, system theory of a organization development, mm, nature of system, and congruence among system elements, socio-technical system theory, and open system planning, uh, implications, organization development, values and summary, key terms, exercise and questions, further reading, introductions 1.0, for
uh,
improving organization and people in the and them organization development is the applied behavioral discipline and dedicated to the these through the use of the theory and practices of plan changed in a present scenario. Organizations today face multiple challenges and threats threats to effectiveness, efficiency, and profitability. Challenges from uh, third round environments and increased competitions and changing customers demands are the constant challenges, and to maintain congruence among organizational dimensions such as strategy, cultural, and processes. Before discussing the issues of developed and change in the organizational level, and we must first of all define the concept of an organization, and we will not place which much emphasis on the this aspect, but merely try to efforts an overall idea of the matter.
uh,
The paradigm we consider here and is the definition of organization. The organization is the systematic one. It is an upon system engaged in exchange of matter, energy, and information with the environment, and more specifically, an organization, a consciously coordinated social entity with a relatively identifiable, identifiable. An overview, the
uh,
unit first, after reading this unit, you should be able to understand overview of organizational development, nature, scope, and objectives of organizational level, values, assumptions, and belief in a organizational divide, theories of organizational development, and application of organizational development. हे इथलं काढायचं ना, एकच मिनिट, 1 मिनिट वेट. हे हे कसं काढणार हे? बरं संकेतला हा, येस.
uh,
The term discussed above earlier
uh,
The term discussed above and the popularity and known as the Organization Development (OD) and is currently known as the Organizational Change and Development (OCD). The purpose of this is primarily and to focus on the changes and the organization are expected to embrace sorry and their role as a drives of a change in order to sustain and grow. This field emerged as an independent discipline uh, in the late 1950s, and by taking insights from group dynamic, the theory and practices of a plan change (OCD) has grown as an applied behavioral science used effectively and to solve the critical problems confirming the various fields and the dynamics with are both internal and external to organization in a present environment OCD and involves organization reflection and system and improvement planning and self analysis. In other words, we can say that it is the plan and change to a company and to enable growth or change in an effective way relative to consulting. Organization development is Kate, बरं. थोडी अक्षर इकडे जातात ना मग एखादं वाक्य चालेल. थँक्यू. Take your progress and define organization development and discuss its values uh, in a present scenario. Mm,
ah,
The field emerged. The field emerged as an independent discipline in the late 1950s and by taking insights from group dynamics and their theory and practices of a planned change. OCD has grown as an applied behavioral science and effectively to solve the critical problems, confirming the various facts and dynamics which are both internal and external to organizations in a present environment. OCD involves organizational reflection and system improvement, planning, and self analysis. In other words, and we can say that it is the planned change unto a company to enable growth or change in an effective way relative to consulting. Organization development is an is a system-wide application of a behavioral science and knowledge to the plan, development, and enforcement of organizational strategies and structures and processes for improving an organization effectiveness. Coming and Worley, Organization Development and Change Sex Edition, uh, Southwestern Publishing 1997, p. 2. According to Richard Beckhardt, organization development is defined as a plan, efforts, organization wide, managed from the top, and to increase the organization effectiveness and health uh, through planned interventions in the organization processes using the behavioral science and knowledge. Another definitions by a written uh, Warren Bennis. Organization development OD is a complex strategy intended to change the belief, attitudes, values, and structure of a organization so that they can better adapt to new technologies, markets, and challenges. According to Warner Brook, OD is not just anything and done to better an organization. It is a particular and kind of a change progress processes and designed to bring about a particular kind of end result. Cummings and were orally in 1993 said that OD is a systematic applications of behavioral science knowledge into the plan development and a reinforcement of organizational strategy, structures, and processes for improving an organization effectiveness. OD refers to a specific set of change interventions, skill, activities, tools, or techniques that are used to help people and organizations to be more effective and in its most restrictive uses. Organizational development refers to sensitivity training, and when we analyze the definition, it contains the element which are important for OD in order to summarize. Here are the primary distinguished characteristics or organizational developments. Organizational change and development. 3. And over and overviews introductions to organization developments notes. Uh, Check your progress and discuss nature and scope of organizational development. First one is